It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz program here in the Prince George's County Public Schools, where we test students' science IQs. Test your own and play along with us today. Let's meet today's elementary school teams. First, from Allenwood Elementary, would you please say hello to Deani Riley, Stephanie Ensminger, and Jocelyn Burrell. And from Forest Heights Elementary School, would you say hello to Jemiah Barrett, Jabari Champion, and Tamaya Bell. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty. Easier questions, they're on the left, worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones worth 15, 20, and 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, we will have one of these 2 very talented teams come back to play Hillcrest Heights for the chance to move on to play Perrywood in this year's semifinals. Let's make sure everything works properly. Stephanie, would you try your buzzer? Thank you. Looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, to Jocelyn, and to Deani. And Jabari, would you try yours? Green team, looking and sounding good. Good luck to you, and to Tamaya, and to Jemiah. All right, we go alphabetically. A before F. Let's get this game started, and congratulations on being chosen to represent your schools. You are wonderful ambassadors. You look good, and I know we're going to have a good game. Let's stay with me. Stephanie, start us out.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. We start with a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. This is kind of disgusting. All over the Caribbean, beaches are being covered with this slimy stuff called sargassum seaweed. This seaweed is actually a brown form of what kind of plant that lives in the ocean. It is the most numerous plant that you find in the ocean. They're called what, Stephanie?
Kelp.
Kelp, absolutely. Or algae. Good. Go. Red.
Okay. Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams. Mickey and Minnie made mice famous, but these rodents were made famous by Alvin and Simon and Theodore. Forest Heights.
Chipmunks.
Chipmunks. Absolutely right. Rodents can actually sing. Go. Green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams. Trick-or-treaters who have food allergies don't have much fun when they go to door to door. So on Halloween, they have on the doorstep of homes that aren't giving out candy but non-food treats, teal-colored versions of these big gourds.
Pumpkins.
Forest Heights?
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins, yeah, teal-colored pumpkins. That's something new the past couple years. If you see a teal pumpkin, you know you can get a treat that is not something that is going to be eaten that could have an allergy in that could disturb you. Good, go, green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, this movie character, who was not a real live boy, would never have to have a polygraph test because if he lied, his nose would grow. Jabari.
Pinocchio.
Good. See, if you stay with me, you're going to get those. Don't look away. Go. Green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science Pope brief for 10 points. Teams, before a storm becomes a hurricane, like Hurricane Patricia did a few weeks ago, it became a Category 5. It starts out as a very small storm known as a tropical, not a tropical storm, but as a tropical one of these that also describes someone who is very, Stephanie?
Wind.
Not wind. This tropical storm that it starts out as is known as a tropical what? The same word that describes someone who is very sad. A tropical what? Depression. A tropical depression becomes a tropical storm, becomes a hurricane, categories 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the progression. Try again, Green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if you're at a concert and the noise is deafening, that noise can shatter your tympanic
Eardrum?
Your eardrum, absolutely right. The tympanic membrane is otherwise known as the eardrum. Stephanie, you are way ahead of me. Nicely done. Go.
Super 8 for 10.
Super 8 for 10 points. Teams, recently, some fishermen built a giant fake orca whale to try to scare away the seals that were eating all their fish. It didn't work. Just like sometimes if you put a fake human being in a cornfield, it doesn't scare away these birds.
Gross.
Please wait till I acknowledge it. Don't just blurt out. Forest Heights?
Crows.
Crows. Good. Go. Green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, James Fulton invented an engine that was powered by the vaporized water that turns into a mist. It turns it into mechanical energy. When he saw it work, he said, "Full what ahead?" Full what ahead, Jabari?
Steam.
Steam ahead, that's right. Thanks, Jemiah, for your assist on that. Full steam ahead. James Fulton's steam engine. Good. Green. 85 to 70.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. On YouTube, one of the most watched videos is of a red-shouldered hawk flying and attacking one of these pilotless little planes that are flying around everywhere right now. What do we call those things? Forest Heights.
Fighter jets.
Not fighter jets, no, good try. It's a hawk attacking, on YouTube we can see it, one of these small pilotless little planes flying around.
Drones.
Drones, that's it. Yep, good. Red. Thanks, Jocelyn.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline science for 10 points. Teams, if you've been following the news, you know that New Horizons has been a name in the news. It's not a name of a book. It's not the name of a nursing home. It's the name of a spaceship that took off 9.5 years ago. And last summer, it finally reached the place where it wanted to go, and it took pictures of what heavenly body? Jabari.
God.
What are you saying?
God.
God? No. What kind of heavenly body did the New Horizons spacecraft take pictures of after a 9.5-year journey to get there? What'd you think, girl? What do you think?
Mars.
Good try. Pluto. Pluto took 9.5 years to get to Pluto. And of course, it's not even a planet anymore. They downgraded it. All right. Buzzer says first round over. Score at this point, Allenwood 75, Forest Heights 85. We'll be right back with more Science Bowl. Don't go away.
Simple moments are what make every day count.
And we welcome you back to Science Ball. Hope you're enjoying this game here today with two very talented teams. Allenwood Elementary, first time ever on Science Ball. This is our 30th year here in Prince George's schools, and we've never seen Allenwood, so it is so nice to have you guys here, and you're doing so well. Stephanie, tell us about Allenwood. We're all ears. Where is it?
Temple Hills, Maryland.
Temple Hills, that's right. And who's your principal?
Our outstanding principal, Ms. Fabui.
She is indeed outstanding, and she's here today along with Miss Williams, and we know that your sponsor, Miss Cornegay, is not here. She couldn't be here, but I know she was responsible for you getting here this year.
Yes.
And she, of course, was a nominee for Teacher of the Year last year. And Stephanie, thank you and congratulations once again on that. Tell me, do you have any alternates, Stephanie, on your team?
Paris Jackson and Christopher Watson.
And we'll bring them out along with your principal and Miss Williams in a few moments here. I always like to ask schools what it is they like to brag about. I know there's some great things going on at Allenwood. What would you like to tell me? What's one of the best things, Stephanie, there? I know the teachers are great.
Yes. Oh, well, they say, Jocelyn says the mini malls there, and Deani says the classrooms that we have.
And the smart boards.
And the smart boards that we
Smart
use.
boards, yeah. I mean, because I saw those when I visited your school, and you've got technology there, and you need that today. You know, you have to keep up with the times. Stephanie, what do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be a math teacher.
Math teacher, you would be a good one, because I know how hard you worked to get to be captain today. Miss Cornegay told me about that, so congratulations to you. Jocelyn, nice to have you here. You want to be President of the United States, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, set your sights high. If you got to be president, what's one of the first things you would do?
In schools, instead of serving that lunch that they serve us is really not that good, I would add food courts in the cafeteria.
As president, you're going to be worried about school cafeteria food, huh?
Yeah, and I would worry about what's going on in the community and in the United States before I go help other countries.
Absolutely right. Take care of your own first. You're very wise. What do you do in your spare time?
I play with my pet and I go to cheerleading and gymnastics.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you're an active young lady, and I really like your spirit. What kind of pet do you have?
I have a guinea pig.
Guinea pig, yeah. I remember guinea pigs when I was a kid, too. They're not real affectionate. They just like to eat a lot. That's what I remember. Deani, nice to have you with us today. Why'd you want to be here?
I want to be here because I like to learn more about science, because I don't really like know that much about science. I don't really focus particularly on studying about science. So I thought this was a great opportunity for me to learn more facts about science.
And we certainly hope you do learn things. You're a good contestant, but we also want you to tell us what you know, because that's the only way you're going to get these answers right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what do you want to do someday?
I want to either be an artist or a veterinarian.
Ah, do you have a pet at home?
No, I
No, you need to get a pet. You need to get a pet. Talk to Jocelyn about that. Yeah, maybe the guinea pig will have a litter over there, huh? Forest Heights, nice to have you with us today. And Jabari and Tamaya, nice to have you back again. You were here last year representing your school. And Jemaya, nice to have you here for the very first time. Jabari, tell us about Forest Heights. It's down there in the southern part of the county.
Yes.
Oxon Hill, Maryland. Oxon Hill, that's right. Not too far from the new casino in National Harbor, just up the road. Who's your principal?
Dr. Brookover.
And Dr. Brookover is here today. He's been a great supporter of Science Bowl, and he was responsible for getting Forest Heights back in the bowl. And I think this is only your second or third year on the bowl after all these years. So, Dr. Brookover, thank you so much for all you've done. And tell me, who's your sponsor?
Our sponsor is Mrs. Hinton.
And Mrs. Hinton, and she has been working so hard. She's been giving me names every other day. She's been trying to get this team just the way she wants it. Thank you, Stephanie, for all you've done. And Jabari, were there any alternates on your team?
Yes.
Who are they? Just their first names is fine.
Levante, Jemaya, and Xavier.
Wonderful. So you got three out there, kind of your shadow team. We'll bring them out just a few moments here. Jabari, best thing about Forest Heights?
The best thing about Forest Heights is the way the teachers inspire you to work harder.
Boy, that's great. Teachers have to be those kinds of role models to motivate you. And speaking of Teachers of the Year, one of your teachers was a candidate for Teacher of the Year just a few years ago. So both these schools, that testifies to the good scholarship there. Let's get back into our game here. But first of all, I want to talk to Tamaya. Tamaya, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I usually flip around the house breaking things.
Yeah, what's this? You go around the house breaking things?
Yeah, because I flip so much.
Interesting. And I know you want to be an engineer. Do you fix those things?
No.
No? Oh my goodness, I don't know about that, Savaya. What do you like about this game? Why'd you want to come back again?
Because it was fun the last time.
I'm glad you're here. And let me go back to Jabari for a moment. Jabari, what do you hope to do someday?
I hope to be a veterinarian and help all animals get a home.
And do you have a pet?
Yes.
You got a bulldog, don't you?
And I have a cat.
Yeah, and a cat too. Mm-hmm. What are the names of your cat and your dog?
The dog name is Bruno, and the cat name is Freddie.
Freddie, Bruno the bulldog. That fits. Yeah, you'd be a good vet. And Jemiah, this is your first time on the show.
Yes.
Why'd you want to be here?
I thought it was exciting to know about science, and so I wanted to share my knowledge.
Good. I appreciate that. You're doing a nice job so far, and I see you're a safety patrol.
Yes.
So you've got some responsibility. That's always an important thing to develop as you grow up. And what do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be a pediatrician.
Pediatrician. Do you have younger brothers and sisters at home?
Yes.
Yes, you're getting a chance to kind of practice already. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to our game. Forest Heights 85, Allenwood 75. All the tough questions are left. Put on your thinking caps. Here we go. Red team, Stephanie, start us out.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, sometimes people wonder, this piece of bread has green mold all over it. Can I eat it? Maybe I'll just cut it off. But if you do that, you still have some roots and branches of this F-initialed stuff growing all over the bread that you could be eating. What's that F-initialed stuff, Jabari?
Fungus.
Fungus, yeah, that fungus is among us. It's all over that bread, so, I wouldn't eat it. Go green.
Zuperate for 15.
Zuperate for 15 points. What B-initialed crustacean has a gland in its body that can make cement so that it can stay attached to the side of a ship or the side of a pier or even the side of a fish? Stephanie.
Particle.
Say it again.
Particle.
Barnacle.
Barnacle, sorry.
That's right. I knew that you got that right there. Deani, she knew that right. Very good answer. Thanks, Deani. Good assist. Go Allenwood.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, this is a really encouraging story. The White House recently had a maker fair. Those of you that want to be engineers might be interested in this, like Tamaya. At the fair, President Obama judged the winner to be a 13-year-old student who used a Lego robotics kit to make a printer that printed in this alphabet so that blind people could read what was printed. What's the name of that alphabet, Forest Heights?
K.
No. What is the name of that alphabet that was printed out that only blind people can read?
It's called...
Allenwood, you know that. Braille. Like when you get into an elevator, the numbers are in Braille, so you can just touch them. All right, try again, Red. 90 to 100, it's almost a tie. Stephanie?
Let's get physical, 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, this planet is well named. Boy, is it fast. It can zip around the sun 4 times in the time it takes us on Earth to go around once. It is named for the Roman god who was the messenger to the other gods because he was so fast. Name that planet. Forest Heights.
Mercury.
Yep, good. Go. Green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. One-word answer. Listen carefully. There are advertisements on television for a new movie starring actor Bradley Cooper. He's a chef. In the movie, he cooks things up, but the title is something that is oxidized too much. Like you do this to your toast sometimes in the morning. Stephanie. Burnt. Yes, burnt is the title. Good. Red.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, this is an interesting question. Because a lot of the large animals like elephants and rhinos and whales are disappearing because of habitat destruction and poaching and killing, there's not a lot of poop out there from big animals. That means there's not a lot of this P-initialed chemical in the poop that plants need to grow with. So the fertilizer's not there. What is that P-initialed stuff I'm looking for, Jabari?
Photosynthesis.
Not photosynthesis, no, it's a chemical now. It's a chemical. What kind of chemical with the symbol P, first letter P, is found in those feces, that fertilizer that the plants need? Any idea?
Can I pass it on to
Sure.
Pyroxide.
Pyroxide, that's a good try. Phosphorus, phosphorus. Sometimes if you go to a garden center, you see on the side of the fertilizer all these letters there, and N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus. Okay, no points. 95-105. Allenwood, please.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, sometimes inside of a beehive, matricidal behavior takes place. Matricidal. Do the drones eject the queen? Do they kill her? Or do they get her to lay more eggs to produce more drones? Which of those three?
Get her to lay more eggs.
Jabari?
Get her to lay more eggs.
No, they don't get her to lay more eggs. Matricidal behavior. Do the drones eject the queen? Do they kill her? Or do they get her to lay more eggs to make more drones, Stephanie?
Kill her.
They kill her, absolutely right. Matricide, as in homicide, suicide. That always means killing. Something dies. Go red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, the last of your molars, we're talking teeth here, the last of your molars, which comes in usually between the ages of 17 and 25, when presumably you're a little smarter, are called these kind of teeth, which makes them sound like they're smart.
Wisdom.
Forest Heights.
Wisdom.
Wisdom teeth, that's it, good. Green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, all the branches and leaves of a tree are known as the tree's crown. What other C initial term describes all of the upper stories of the forest? All of the tops of the trees is known by what C initial term? Almost sounds like a tent. That's the canopy. That's the canopy we're talking about. Go again, green. Jabari, advantage you. You have a 5-point advantage.
Zoo Parade for 25.
Zoo Parade for 25 is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. This creature, which changes different colors to blend into the background, almost like a chameleon, belongs to a group of mollusks that has big eyes and tentacles like this does. Both the name of the creature and the group it belongs to begins with the letter C. Can you name either the name of the creature or the group it belongs to for 25 points? Allenwood, come on, guys.
Crustaceans, and that's a squid.
Ooh, good try, not quite. Not a crustacean. Nice try, Jocelyn. Forest Heights, have you been talking among yourselves? Do you have an offering for me?
Yes.
Yes, sir, go.
Canopies.
Not a canopy. That's a cuttlefish. That's a cuttlefish, and it's a cephalopod like an octopus is. Jocelyn, you made a nice stab at that. Try again, Jabari. Green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. What same word is the name of a bone next to your ulna in your forearm and a line that connects the center of a circle to the outside of the circle? What same word describes both of those things? A line from the center of the circle to the outside and a bone that joins with your ulna in your forearm, Jabari.
Radius.
Radius, that's it. Good. Go. Green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, electric eels, they stun their prey. They generate that electricity because inside they have an organ that is just like one of these dry power sources that has a positive and a negative terminal. It has an organ that is much like one of these that you have at home. Jabari.
Battery.
Yeah, it's got a battery organ. Okay, try again.
Size potpourri for 15.
For 15 points. Teams, head lice are making a comeback because they've gotten resistant to medicines and shampoos. What M-initial process causes the genes in the headlights to change so that they don't get affected by the weapons we have right now? What's that M-initial term when genes change? Come on, Allenwood.
Metamorphosis.
Not metamorphosis. Good try. Genes change. M-initial term, Jabari.
Mulaney.
Mutation. They mutated. Try again, please, Green. Don't beat yourself up. You'll get them next time. Go.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, there's a local group that has a shirt that has a big S and a little E. Support education. It also is the chemical symbol for selenium, which you would find on the periodic table of what? The periodic table of what, Forrest Heights?
Metals.
Not metals. Good try. Allenwood.
Elements.
Elements, yes indeed. Deani, she knew that one. She said, you better say that, Stephanie. Go. Steph, go.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Oh, listen to this. There's some big long words, but if you listen carefully, you're going to get it. Unlike crocodiles and dolphins and some birds, we cannot sleep with one eye open. They can. They can because they are unicellular, unilateral, or unihemisphere creatures. Unilateral, unicellular, or unihemisphere creatures. They can sleep with one eye open. Pick. Jabari.
They can.
Which of the three? Unicellular, unilateral, unihemisphere?
Unicellular.
Not unicellular. Allenwood.
Unilateral.
Unihemisphere was the right answer. Because hemisphere is the brain, the two hemispheres of the brain. Only one half of the brain is active at one time. The other half is asleep. That buzzer says our game is over. We'll be back with a wrap up in just a moment. Don't go away.
I tell people I have 3 kids. One of them's adopted. I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. What a game we had here today. 6 outstanding young people, and you're all winners today, no matter what this score says. Our final tally is Allenwood 135, Forest Heights 155. Congratulations to Jemiah and Jabari and Tamaya. Let's see some smiles over there. You can finally relax a little bit. Look at that alternate team of alternates back there over there at Forest Heights. We've got Levante and Jemiah and Xavier. And Ms. Hinton, thank you for all you've done. And Dr. Brookover, thank you for supporting us here on Science Bowl. I want to see some big smiles over here. We love you guys. We've waited 30 years to see you. Deani and Stephanie and Jocelyn. And look at the alternates back there at Allen. We've got Christopher and Paris. Miss Linda Williams, thank you for all you've done. Miss Fagbui, the wonderful principal here supporting the team. And look at the signs they got back there. Go Allenwood. You got that right. We're very proud of Allenwood and Forest Heights. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye.